My name is Rel Pham. I'm an artist from Melbourne, originally from Sydney. For Melbourne Now, I've made Temple. It's meant to be this intense, electric, colossal thing, so it can maybe represent that extremity that occurs online. I'm not trying to be too utopian or dystopian about it, just trying to put it on display. Started getting into art like any kid, just drawing a lot of the time, whether it was cartoon characters or video game characters. And then I had a cousin who is now a tattoo artist. We used to draw all the time together when we'd hang out. That relationship sort of developed because he would show me skateboard graphics and album art. I don't know if I ever really knew that I wanted to transfer my love of drawing or art into a career. It was just sort of a passion that I guess I kept following, which sounds cliche, but it's like another language or something. It's just sort of innate, so you keep following it through. For Melbourne Now, I've made Temple, which is an installation featuring computer fans, digital screens that basically explores digital culture and how we might operate with the terrible force that is the internet. For this installation, I've used some new materials, things that I've been interested in but haven't had an opportunity to use yet, which includes PCB board, which is like circuit board, LED computer fans, which I just find interesting from a cultural perspective. There's acrylic cutouts, LED strips. It's strange because I always use light if you work with animation, but this is kind of more of a physical, literal representation of that rather than it just being moving image. The initial inspiration for these shots and these sketches, which ended up in Temple, were, again, a lot of the ideas I pulled from the I Ching, which is this Taoist book. And the idea was, so the first chapter is the clinging fire. When there's this sort of, the sun is eclipsed, then all these sort of darker lights reveal themselves. And what I liked about that is kind of, once you sort of look into the shadow world of, say, the internet, you can see like a lot of different kind of movements and forces exposed. And so that became, the inspiration to have this first shot of this giant fan rotating, which then dissipates and fades out and reveals the entire sort of series, these stacks of computers, this endless hallway. Excellent. So, I mean, these stores usually find them all throughout, especially in like Chinatown and stuff, so love walking through them, sussing them out, and even just kind of the way it's laid out where just there's so much to look at, I find very, very inspiring. To make a large-scale installation, I think it's just kind of about pushing myself or just seeing how far one can go, which might seem not like a refined approach, but I prefer sort of doing too much and then maybe reeling it back. It made me a lot more aware of space and install work in general, exploring like rooms or temples and so on, even stores, theaters, whatever, going to concerts, like just being able to understand physical space and how you might move through it and how you end up designing something similar. This is like where like a lot of the design influence comes from, is like, borrowing from this, these design motifs or, the way the packaging is created, and then like using that to sort of inspire, oh, how should the screens look? This is why there's so many there's so much verticality in the work as well. So, and even like these charms and things, like, absolutely love. Joss paper, again, all these things are just like gorgeous to me. And this is, like where like these bars of text, you'll see this like, this is very much like reminiscent of the actual like shrine in the center of the installation. When it comes to people engaging with Temple, it's essentially like a 12-minute looping installation, and there's so many aspects to it. There's no right or wrong. If someone comes in and is sort of blown away by the spectacle of the fans, someone goes in and sits there for 12 minutes or, watches the loop on repeat and really tries to think deeply about it, that's also fine. How people experience it is also up to them as well. Because like any work, the work has a history and an experience of itself, but then we bring our own personal histories, and it's that sort of collusion and that combination of those two things coming that you can't determine like the right or wrong way about that.